just listening to that. Hi. Listening to that bit on Bletchley Park and the librarian. Oh, it's about a 45-minute bit. I just posted on YouTube. But women did most of the muscle work for British code breaking. Yes, they had machines that were developed by Alan Turing, which is a whole nother story. There's movies about it and so on. And but women did a lot of the, I guess you call it grunt work or muscle work, but they did 24-hour shifts. 3 shifts a day and so on. Codes have been my hobby for as long as I can remember. I used to read code books when I was in grade school, books about codes and engineer tables and so on. And there was many codes are actually out in the open. They're not actually, the communications themselves are actually out in the open, but the codes are what the internal meanings. Example being musicians that would play little tunes that would say, hey, there's a redhead walking in on your left, or something like that. To average people that just hear a tune that isn't secret. Well, the meaning of it is unknown to other musicians, or at least the one that they were aimed at. At Hanford, we had just email, and someone would send a company junk mail and then attach onto it some BS at the bottom and forward it. We didn't do that a lot, but some, There's the Navajo code talkers. The Japanese were breaking our codes, and we broke some of theirs too. And so, I don't know who, but someone said, hey, the Navajos their language isn't written down. So they'd have Navajo on each end to speak in their native language to each other. And the Japanese had no way of knowing what their language meant or interpretation of it. And they received commendation, Navajo code talkers. And there was another guy who took native languages that weren't written down, called them talking leaves, and made syllables and signs for syllables. And I don't know I assume it was in the English alphabet. And was able to write down some of the languages that were spoken. And in the Chilkat Valley News, I saw that a guy a long time ago, over 100 years ago, came to town or went to native villages and recorded some of their speaking onto wax cylinders, which have just recently been able to be read with lasers and played back. And he knew at the time that he could record them, and he knew that he wouldn't be able to play them back, but he recorded them anyways.